Hello everybody and welcome to the Bunny Fox Nguyen channel. In this video, we're having date night in New York City. I am David Nguyen.
I'm Isis Nicole.
And what are we doing standing 2.5 hours in line?
We are at Yayoi Kusama's Infinity Room. It's inspired by her lifelong fear of endless patterns and dots that kind of messes with her understanding of reality. And she has a documentary on it, which is on Hulu, called Kusama Infinity. It talks a little bit more about how this fear came to be. I kind of picture it like the Spirited Away scene where one of the characters, or two of the characters, are like running through a forest of flowers, but like with zero whimsy and all terror and phobia in Kusama's telling of it.
Isis likes to take me to fancy schmancy museums. I'm just a regular dude. I don't really care for these type of things. For some reason, we had to stand in line for over 2.5 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. Everybody was super well dressed up to this very Instagrammable
Yeah, the
box.
event is said to be an immersive installation, and there are different sculptures as well on the top floor.
But no one cares about that.
You ready for the greatest 1 minute of your life?
They just want to go into this Instagrammable infinity room. You literally get 1 minute for us to get their likes up. For the other exhibits, you can walk straight in. It's just for this one box. The line starts around the block and then around the block from that block. And this is what all the hype is about for the time it takes to undercook a Hot Pocket.
I love that we were able to get footage because my phone does not take good pictures.
Yeah, I wasn't prepared to take photos in this room either. I was just getting footage, and by the time I spun around, it was all over. And then you get to explore the rest of the museum for free. And look how sparsely attended it is. I think people just snap their photos and then just walk straight out to go back to their New York vibes. What do you think of her other artwork?
Well, I like this portion. I love the colors and the dots. The sculptures I thought were pretty cool, at least the ones like on the wall. But the things like those silver blobs on the ground that kind of look like water drops, I wasn't crazy about, but I do realize that it makes for a good picture, but in real life I wasn't drawn to it.
How do you think she feels that people only care about the one thing that is mainstream and then very indifferent about the rest of her work?
I would imagine she's okay with it. I mean, actually, I don't know how an artist would think, but she's pretty successful. And I mean, even if people only care about that mirror, I think it's still cool that you get to see her art in like airports and stuff.
Do you think she's a one-hit wonder in that regard? It's like this is her banger, and then everything else is
I don't know, because she's in airports as well.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know if that's like one hit
I'm pretty sure
wonder.
she loves to check, and like airports bring in her pieces.
Yeah.
It's like, look, we care about taste. We hired somebody with taste to bring this in.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what would make airport hot? An infinity room.
It's been a long time coming. I think she's like 90 years old.
It has to be like a musician where you create all these songs, but only one takes off, and people just want to hear that one song.
Perhaps, but I don't know how 90-year-olds feel these days.
Yeah, especially Japanese 90-year-olds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like these. I like these a lot.
Do you think she created this before or after her Infinity Room thing?
That is an excellent question that I am not qualified to answer.
Right, because like if she made this first and then she had the Infinity Room, that'd be dope. It's like, look, I did this and then this is my masterpiece.
Right.
But if she made the Infinity Room stuff first and then people are like, wow, that's fantastic.
And you keep
What's
it
the
going.
follow-up? Oh.
Would be for me this ladder. I love the sculptures and the art on the wall better than the infinity ladder. This didn't mean anything to me. How about you? Did you like this?
I thought it was kind of cool.
Really?
The idea of an infinity ladder, it's so obvious, but yet she's the only one who thought of it. And she's like, but make it neon. Yeah. This one, less Instagrammable, but still I think it had a bigger draw than the other artwork, because I think a lot of times for me art just goes right over my head, and unless it has a little placard to explain what it's supposed to mean to me, then I don't know what to make of it. And you know, art is supposed to invoke whatever it is that invokes within you, but you know, help me out. Give me a little push in a certain direction. What were you thinking when you made this? Just throw me into this shoebox of kind of squiggly lines and spiky cactus. Visually, it's like I don't know if it appeals to anything that I like, but it's cool that she has it. But it's just one of those things where it has to be someone decided this was cool, so we're gonna give you a space for it.
So that was our adventure at Every Day I Pray for Love.
Look at these schlubs that wait in line like suckers.
Suckers!
Like,
closing time.
Yeah. So if you're in New York City and you want to do what trendy people do, head over here if you have 5 hours to kill. We did.
So, thoughts about what we just saw?
It was really pretty, that's for sure. I guess in the room, I wasn't as comfortable taking a picture. Like, I don't know, or maybe I wasn't as prepared, but it was so, like, I didn't want to hit anything. Whereas, like, in Japan, I feel like I got better picture.
You also had more time.
Is that what it is? It was still 60 seconds.
In Japan?
In Japan, it was 60 seconds.
It felt like 2 minutes or something. It felt more. But you felt like it was 60
I
seconds?
think it was 60 seconds there. I'll double check. Like, I'll look online. But it just felt, maybe because it was smaller. That's probably what it is. It was smaller, so I'm like,
Right.
My perfume smells good. But yeah, I thought it was cool. Now I'm ready to go home and have something to eat.
That was like more of the same. We already saw it in Japan. So this one was free. It was also tinier, much smaller. It's like literally the size of our apartment, like our room.
Yes. Yeah.
It's like 100 square feet. Well designed, but I feel like I saw a much better version in Japan. And so because
the rip-off. Not the rip-off, but you know, it's like the inspired version.
It wasn't the OG.
Yeah, it's not the OG.
But because of that, I was less impressed. Because even in Japan, when we got to see, as we were waiting in line, and we saw people hanging out, it didn't look impressive until you actually go into the room and you're like, wow, oh my gosh, it looks so much more expansive. So, but because I'd seen that already, when I went back to the room, I was like, okay, it's still cool, but it was very difficult to replicate that first time feeling. It would have been nice to have more than a minute, but I understand that even though they kept it at a minute, the wait was still 2 hours. So overall, 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10? That's not bad.
You're right, 6 out of 10.
Oh, okay. 6 out of 10. Oh my gosh. That sounds correct. Because of the cold?
Because of the cold.
The weight.
Yeah, the weight.
And the height didn't match. It didn't match up.
Positives, it was cool. It was free.
Yes.
Negatives, it was a very long wait, and I'd seen it before.
Wait, am I going
and it's
right?
cold.